Hello everybody, this is Alex from Hardcorian Guides, bringing my guide for Resident Evil 4 on professional difficulty. Today we're doing Chapter 5-1. This is going to be the first of 4 parts of Chapter 5. Either way, Chapter 5, whether it be 5-1 or whatever, you know, the entirety of Chapter 5 will be the last numerical chapter that we're going to be going through. And then after we finish 5-4 or 5-5 or whatever it was, we'll head straight into the final chapter. Yeah, I know, kind of an anticlimactic name for a chapter, but I think it kind of fits. It's not like anticlimactic, it's more like, you know, theatrical than anything. It's like, it's the final chapter. So, I guess it works out. This is the start of what I consider the military style chapters, and a lot of them I find really difficult. This one probably not that much as compared to the later ones that we'll definitely get to see, but this very beginning part I find probably more the hardest part of this section, this chapter, I'd say for sure. The main reason why, and you'll see it when he comes up, you have to like get to a certain section of this area for it to happen, to trigger it. But we'll get introduced to the minigun tyrant dudes. I don't know what the hell their names are. I just call them fucking like minigunners or whatever. You know, the Gatling gunners or something. Whatever it is. Not very smart when it comes to gun names, I guess. Oh well, anyway. So this first part here, rather easy. Just, you know, I think there's like a couple guys you have to worry about. As you can see, I'm not like going over I'm not jumping over this window to get in there. I'm not like super enthralled into getting into this building, and the reason why is because I'm afraid of me accidentally triggering him to spawn. So, as you can see, it looks like I was able to do that. I will cut out the section where I rotate it when I basically finish this puzzle. It's one of those puzzles you guys can figure out for yourself or look up yourself. Yep, see right there, he spawned. And I'm not... It took me too long because I was too stupid to figure out what the fuck I was doing. So anyway, with this guy, what I recommend doing is if you have the Magnum on hand, just wail into him with it. Just if you got a few Magnum shots, just pierce it into his ass. Now, my trick with this section is to stand back here near the spot where I jumped from originally, and the reason being is because I'm going to be using that to my advantage. I'm going to be using that as a way to kind of like get away and basically get to cover again. So as you see there, I switched to the Magnum like an idiot, and instead of dealing with the enemies in front of me, I decided to be stupid and go for him instead. That's not something I recommend. I recommend at least trying to take out the other guys before you worry about, you know, the Magnum PI dude himself. Or he could just kill him himself. I mean, that happens too sometimes. I got kind of lucky there, to be honest with you. I didn't expect that to happen, but it did. What do you call it? The Magnum or whatever weapon you have, whether it be like the Desert Eagle I think we get later on. Basically, any like heavy handgun that you have, I'd recommend using on him. And snipers as well. And of course, when you're using snipers, go for the head. Now, flash bombs can work too, because I believe they can just stun him, so that we can get a nice, good shot. But when it comes to like basic weaponry, your sniper is probably a sniper and your Magnum shots. Like your really heavy, powerful weapons are pretty good. Yes, an RPG would take him out in one shot, but I wouldn't waste an RPG on a minigun enemy until I think later on in the game when I just had fucking... I basically had enough of whatever bullshit at that time I was putting up with, so I think I might have blown one up. That is going to be a bitch of a chapter to edit, I'm sure. It's the chapter where you have, I forget his name, like Frank or something. That would be kind of funny if his name was Frank, because it'd be like, you know, Frank from like Dead Rising or something in a zombie game. Another Capcom game as well. Yep, see, he's down. That was like, what, 6, 7 shots right there just to take him out with a sniper to the head? Yeah, those were headshots. That's how ridiculously powerful this guy is. And the Magnum fully upgraded, well, not the broken butterfly necessarily, but like the strongest, like, what do you call it? Like heavy handgun or whatever. You know, the strongest version of that would probably do quite a hefty amount of damage to him as well. And a fully upgraded sniper did that much. So I would assume the you know, like the Desert Eagle fully upgraded or whatever it is called that we get later on would probably be pretty fucking powerful. So these guys right here, nothing. I mean, yeah, they have Plagas that sometimes spawn, so that's something to be careful of. But luckily, since, you know, the timing window, whenever it comes to, like, before they spawn out, is pretty nice. So that's pretty easy stuff. And okay, at least I don't waste a flash. I use a shotgun, because fuck it, I want this guy away from me. Use a handgun, use whatever you want, take these guys out. These guys are easy pickings after the minigun guy himself is gone. Once the minigun guy is defeated, everything else is pretty simple. If you need to run back, just hop right back over that rock and just go back. To me, it's kind of like a safe haven that I use for getting around this section here. This section's just a pain in the dick sometimes. It's not that hard, it's just, you know, it's mostly the spawn points that really get to me on this part. And of course, you know, with the minigun guy being there, that's also an annoying thing. But again, he's relatively simple to take out, just relatively easy to cheese, I feel. But other than that, the spawning points here are annoying, because there's that guy right there that just, yeah, he's got the crossbow, so he can be a pain in the ass. That's why I always kind of stay behind this particular building that I keep going into, the one with the ladder, because it keeps me at an angle to where I can kind of see everything around me, so that's kind of nice to have that around. And of course, you know, crossbow guy, done. There you go, easy. They still spawn more. Some of them will actually have helmets. This one right here, I think you can shoot. Yeah, you can still shoot him in the head. But there are some that are fully armored helmets that you can't actually shoot bullets into. Or a knife. Oh yeah, and I actually did forget about these guys being back here. I don't know if they were on their way here or what, but they weren't there earlier. I think they spawned with the minigun guy. Like, as in, they have their own... I think they have their own spawn window where, you know, either after you take out the minigun guy or during the time he spawns, these guys will be there. Or maybe they were there before. I have no idea. I actually have no clue. I never really run up far enough for them to even be there. I know the crossbow guy's not. I think he spawns with the minigun dude. So there's this puzzle right here. Like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and skip it. I'm not going to bother you guys with it. You can look for items yourself. You can do the puzzle yourself. Look up online. I don't care. You know, it's just, it took me, for some reason, too long to fucking do it, so I just cut it out completely. This is not a guide for how to do puzzles. This is a guide for how to basically beat the game on hard, which, if you're playing the game on hard, you know, technically you should know by now. You should have the brains by now to look up, like, hey, you know, I'm going to go figure out a puzzle. Yes, the puzzles are relatively easy. It's just a matter of timing. And I'm not trying to, like, you know, beat around the bush and say, like, oh, I'm just, you know, so bad. I don't want to show it off, which that's not entirely true. Well, the reason why is because I was so bad. It took so fucking long for me to do. I just didn't want to show it off. So I guess that's kind of part of the reason. But I'm not afraid to admit it. Nothing like that. I'm not scared to admit it. I don't care. I fucking suck at Resident Evil 4. There, I said it. I straight up said it. Yeah. I suck at this game. But hey, you know what? I beat it. Yes, I beat it months ago. But, you know, hey. Whatever. Well, you know. Fuck off. Actually, I don't even know when I even started this fucking game. I don't even know when, like, I finished the final chapter, to be honest with you. I'm pretty positive it was, like, at least a couple months ago. You know what really sucks? Fucking, like, since it's, like, 2 o'clock at night and Dalton just can't stop fucking wanking. I have that, like, that quietness, you know, that's going on right now. Like, I don't have my heater on or anything, so I can kind of, like, sort of hear, like, white noise or whatever, like, background shit's going on, and most likely I know he's going at it. And it's just awkward. Because, like, would you just stop for, like, 5 seconds? You know, just, like, let me record. Like, I don't care, you know. It don't bother me really any. It's just one of those things, like, during recording, is, like, I'll stop saying something, or I'll hear like a random noise, and it's like, oh god, here we go. It's funny, but you know, it's one of those things like, yeah, wish you'd just wait, but nah. Oh well, who cares? Who cares, right? I'm one of those guys that doesn't really give a shit. I mean, fuck. You know, one of my brothers just jerked off right in front of me one day just because he's like, you know, he's got no privacy. He's just like, man, fuck it. You know, he don't care if I'm there. He don't care if anybody's there. He's one of those guys. I mean, no, I didn't really, like, completely see it. Yes, I've seen his wiener before, but, you know, we were just a bunch of fucking dumb kids, you know, and always just bullying each other and shit and doing stupid crap like that, just fucking with each other, so nothing gay or ancestral. I'm just saying, like, he's one of those kids that, you know, never knew privacy at all. Oh lord, those were embarrassing stories, that's for sure. Like getting caught, you know, not really getting caught masturbating, more of like what do you call it, like when you're in the bathroom or whatever, and you know, he tried to like sneak under the, like sneak a peek underneath the cracks of the doors and shit and try to catch you. This was my stepbrother I'm talking about, not my half brothers. Oh yeah, wild adventures with him. He's a crazy kid, but I love him. He's a great guy. Great guy for sure, you know. I just don't see him as much, mainly because I just don't want to go to that particular house to see him that he lives at. It's all the fucking animals there and everything. Just ugh, I hated it. I hate it. And yeah, it's long story short. You know, my father moved out of that house and left them with it, and they were stuck with, you know, nothing but a bunch of animals and them by themselves in that dirty, cooped up house, and I just don't really want to go there. And plus, it's, you know, like an hour drive just to get down there, and I don't feel like driving a whole hour just to do that. I know some people have to drive like, you know, 3 to 6 hours or even fucking longer than that just to do things, but I'm one of those guys where it's like I'd rather just stay the fuck home and just not bother. And to be honest with you, I'd rather just not even mess around with it. So this section is relatively self-explanatory. You just go from guy to guy. There's nothing here at all that should really be explained. These guys spawn, I guess. I mean, that's something to be careful of. Just basically just watch your ass, you know. As you saw there, I did use, you could probably use a handgun instead of ammo that way. You can shoot down the exploding barrels and have them fly downward and then blow up, you know, a couple of the guys. But other than that, nothing really that hard. I think maybe another guy spawns eventually. I'm not sure. You can technically jump down from here, but I want to waste these guys so I get either ammo or just money out of it. Which, you know, that's one thing I love about Resident Evil 4 that they did, was just the item system was fucking fantastic. Resident Evil 4 is just fucking fantastic. It's a great game to play. It's a great game to commentate most of the time. There's a few in here that I just don't care about doing, but, you know, we cross those bridges when we get to them, right? And for this chapter, surprisingly enough, this actually, it's funny, because when I was editing this video, I thought to myself, like, this wasn't really a bad chapter. Like, this might be a fun one to kind of talk about, and I totally didn't notice I died. There, again, I always fuck up. Every goddamn video I've noticed, I always fuck something up. I always forget to add these things out. Well, I guess you guys are gonna sit here for another, like, 5 minutes of just me doing nothing. I could have actually cut all that out, but I fucked up. Hopefully I don't die again. That'd be embarrassing. But, you know, that's one of the things I guess my videos are good for, is, like, I can at least show you guys that I do fail. I'm not the best player in the world. Yes, I'm playing on pro mode, but that doesn't mean I'm a fucking pro. Going through this game knife only, no damage, that'd be something ridiculous. It's always funny. I always find it funny. Like, no damage runs are some of the most unbelievable runs you'll find. And when I say unbelievable, I mean, like, it's one of those ones where people always have a tendency to call it fake. They always have the tendency to jump on and just say, oh, it's fucking faked. It's not real. It's either hacked or it's just, you know, no one could ever fucking do that. Now, one thing I've learned about games like this that have checkpoints is somebody, or fuck, take Sarah from 17 for example. When he was doing God Hand, he had bloopers of himself like playing on hard mode, you know, doing the no damage run, and he would get hit, and he would just instantly just restart checkpoint, and you know, to me that gives it more of a legitimate value, I guess, and I sure as hell hope that gives other people that legitimacy as well. Which I'm sure there's some videos out there that have been faked to shit and back. But there are some YouTubers out there that I'm sure that put in the fucking hard effort and hard work to do those runs for people that want that kind of entertainment. They want to see that happen. And then there's dickbags that just pretend like it's not real, you know? I hate that crap. I really do. It's one of those things that bother me, and it's one thing I bring up as well. Like, whenever I do my guide videos, like, you can probably tell what the hell is a Hardcorian video because it's fucking shit, quality's crap, and, you know, the commentary is awful. So it's pretty self-explanatory at that point what I'm doing. You know, you could easily tell by now, you know, not going for headshots or not doing something particular, that it's totally not a fucking tasked run. That's no doubt. Yeah, all my runs are just crap. Speaking of runs, I'm thinking about just like cutting out the God of War 2 thing for now. I don't know. I just, at that point in time when I recorded, I wasn't feeling it. And I'm not feeling it now. It's funny because, speaking of God of War 2, actually, I know segues are terrible, but just hear me out. We're at Quick Trip today, tonight. We're coming back from dropping David off after recording and what have you. No, it wasn't after that. No, it was. Yeah, it was, because we wanted to talk about and all that. Okay. Anyway, so Dalton mentioned something about like God of War or whatever. Like, yeah, one of the personas in like Persona 3, Laquisius, or whatever her name was, or he brought up like Hecatoncres and just a bunch of other things. And I was explaining like, yeah, they're, you know, they're also like Greek things too, which also were, you know, also things that did appear in God of War. And he's like, oh, really? And we're talking about like God of War or whatever. I'm talking about like, he mentioned like God of War 2, like who's the final boss. And yeah, that's when he brought up Laquisius, the giant fucking like chick with a bunch of tits and what have you. And anyway, so we got to talking about it. I got to thinking, like, reminding myself, like, God of War 2 wasn't bad. It's actually a pretty good God of War game. It's just that beginning part just, it's slow paced and hard to get through. Nowadays it is. Like back then, oh my god, it was fucking cool. You know, the whole Colossus thing is pretty cool. The music is great for that section. Like the Colossus fight itself's nice. It's just the aftermath, like climbing out of Hades, going to Pegasus and fucking going to the Titans. What the fuck was his name? Whatever his name was, I forget which Titan it was. Typhoon? Yeah, it's like Typhoon's Bane, because that's the weapon you get when you pluck out his eye. And it's just that whole cave section and all that stuff, just, it's always bored the fuck out of me. It just bores the fuck out of me now. And that's one problem I have with trying to get through God of War 2, is like the beginning parts just bore the shit out of me. I've done them so much, I've gotten so fucking tired of them, they're boring. I know I brought this up in the past, and I think I've talked about it in my God of War 1 playthrough on this channel and my Let's Play as well, is that whenever I play God of War 1 on God mode, I have a tendency to think I never selected God mode. Because the game is so fucking easy now that I feel like I'm playing on fucking easy. It's that sad. There's the, what's that say? Oh man, I just skipped over it. If I can figure it fucking out. If we ever go back to look, Killer 7. It's not a Desert Eagle, it's a Killer 7. Which is also the name of a game as well. By Suda51 or 52, whatever you call him. Was it Suda? Oh shit, I don't know. Speaking of that, I would love to get back into playing No More Heroes, but I just hate playing on the Wii. I do. I really do. It's hard for me to want to do it. I know. I'm a bad person, but I just can't stand it sometimes. I really can't. But yeah, those are cool games. That fucking song, like the beginning level, is just, oh, it's good shit. That to me is when Suda was pretty good. When he can make some pretty good stuff, I think, or you know, I don't know if I don't think it's just. That's obviously not just him doing it, but you know, I think he's like what, the creative director, maybe writer as well, or something like that. Either way, he's a big name for it. I know it's Grasshopper Studios or whatever that basically makes the games, but he's a huge part of it, from what I understand. I could be wrong. So, yeah, I'm pretty sure someone's going to correct me if I am. Just don't be a dick about it, okay? Just don't be a piece of shit. Just tell me, hey, that's not true. Don't go falsifying information. And not to mention, like, don't say anything bad that if I say something, just be careful, because, like, you know, if you repeat it back, I'm not going to remember what the hell I said in these videos, so I might take it as, like, my hate comment or you just being an asshole. It's one of those things I have. I really do forget that shit. I know, I'm a terrible person, but it happens. Oh, here I am just selling the Broken Hearted Boy because I don't fucking need it. I already have the Killer 7, it's okay. So anyway, yeah, some of his games are actually pretty good, I think, that he does. I've only played, like, No More Heroes, and, I've played, Killer is Dead all the way through, and, I don't know, it's just boring. I played Lollipop Chainsaw all the way through, that's pretty good. I haven't played, No More Heroes all the way through, but I've played, like, I think, like, the first level. I've watched videos of it before, and I've always had a keen interest in the game, just never got it until, like, very recently when I could actually find a copy of it, and I thought it was cool. I thought it was fucking sick, you know, like I said, the music is just one of the most, to me, the music is one of the most iconic parts of No More Heroes, and not to mention, like, the lightsaber sword, of course, but, you know, more so, the music track is just fucking phenomenal. And then, like, No More Heroes 2 has, like, the whole 99 assassins thing, but they never actually went, you never actually go and kill 99 of them. That's kind of, like, off-putting. Still, I've heard it's a really good game, but kind of sad that you can't, you know, actually have that happen, as far as I know. Like, you can't physically fight them all. That would have been sick. You know, that would have been really cool. I think so. Now, also, I've been hearing that we're getting a new one. Actually, funny enough, I remember this too. Like, during recording, that fucking freaked me out. I forgot about it. I'm like, oh, fuck. Okay, maybe it was either recording or it was my playthrough of Pro Mode the first time through. Regardless, I remember that actually spooping me because it came out of nowhere. And at that point in the recording, I wasn't actually looking that way, so it actually probably might have been the recording that it got me scared on. So anyway, back to the game real quick, just real fast. These guys are dicks. I hate these guys so fucking much. They're annoying. Go for a headshot, get a kick, knock them down, knife them, rinse, lather, repeat. When they're getting back up, stop fucking knifing them and run away. Because these guys are bullies. I don't know if you can get a knife in the head to get them stunned, so I recommend not doing that, just in case it doesn't work out. Just keep your distance. These guys have some fucking retarded range, and they will use that to their advantage. And there will be times where you have multiple of these dudes in one room, of course. It's one thing I love when games show off an enemy, and they usually have, like, one enemy there. Especially for games like this, like survival horror games like this, where, you know, it's kind of a necessity to do that. Like, they show off a new enemy, you fight it, and then you get more later on they have to deal with, and you're like, ah, great, these cocksuckers. It's a great way to have a player progress, I feel. It's that feeling of progression, you know, without really holding their fucking hand. You know, you're teaching them, well, I mean, throughout the entirety of the game, you already know at this point, hey, shoot him in the head and go from there. But, you know, with those guys, it's like, well, then you get, like, you know, the armored dudes, you know, the guys with actual full face helmets and shit, like masks and stuff. And it's like, well, shit, now what do I do? Shoot him in the leg? Well, yeah, you have the leg thing you can do, because not like the monks, but like the one thing you do in the leg. But anyway, yeah, like this, I don't know. It's one of those things where I love how the game just teaches you without really teaching you much. You know what I'm saying? It's good. It gives you To me, it's like Mario 64, where it makes you feel like you're in control of what you're playing. You know, I love that. There's no hand-holding, nothing. It lets you go and lets you figure things out for yourself. Now, there's sometimes where games, I think, do a fucking terrible job at teaching you. As in, like, they give you little to fucking butt-fuck nothing to go by at all. Absolutely. You know, and they just throw you into a scenario where you don't know anything. And then there's games, and a lot of, like, anime games I've noticed do this a lot, where they'll throw you into a thing, and they'll just drag out a whole bunch of text for you just to read to figure things out. Like, here, just read this and fucking figure out yourself. You know, I don't like that. I like when a game will either, like, not force you to go through tutorial, but more like, I guess, they'll progress it into your combat scenario, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, you know, fucking, I can't think of a good one, a good example, but, just a bad example would be something like, and don't take this the wrong way, but like, maybe like one, like the SAO game or whatever, where they just, you know, plop you into a thing and say, this is this, this is that, this is this, and this, that. The game itself's not bad. I'm just saying, like, the tutorial's one of the things that bothers me. It's the same thing with Tokyo Sandu. Like, it's a game I've been recently playing as well, and they do the same thing where it's like, oh, you have these things. But I will say this, though. To its credit, there's not much there that I feel overwhelmed. That's the thing I'm trying to get at, is the overwhelming amount of shit that a game will teach you at once. And it's like, no, just give me time to progress. Like, Tokyo Sandu has those text-based tutorials, but I think they do an okay job at it. Now, again, I'm not trying to, like, call it SAO on its own merit. I'm just trying to say, like, the ones in the second game are the kind of tutorials that just bug the shit out of me, because it's like, you don't really, you're not really teaching me what these things are that you're trying to teach me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, so you have these fucking, you know, you got these fucking gems and stuff that go into your player stats or whatever, or into your friend stats or whatever. And, yeah, you just put those here and put those here, and there you go. You know, the rest is up to you. And it's like, but what the fuck are these gems that you're talking about? I don't know where I got these fucking things from. That's the thing I'm trying to get at. It just bugs me. I'm using SAO as an example. It's not entirely what I'm trying to get at. You know, there's a million games out there, I'm sure, that do that already. It's like the most recent one that I can think of that I felt like did that. Or, this one's not really that annoying, but I was gonna say, like, maybe, like, P5, like Persona 5 stuff, but no, they're not really that bad. Because, like, the tutorials in those games only come up when you go to do something that revolves around it. And then after that, they tell you, okay, so you're interested in doing this, let's teach you about it. That stuff I kind of like. When you are willing enough to go to do something, and the game will tell you how to do that specific thing properly, or, you know, what you should be doing with it. Those things I kind of like. I don't know. Tutorials are, in my opinion, a necessity and also a hindrance, depending on the game. You know, flat and simple. Like, for instance, like fucking, I think Mario 64, I think they actually tell you how to do the basics, but they don't tell you shit about, you know, a lot of the things that you can do. Well, a lot of us, I think, just skip the tutorial. Because there's, like, Lakitu. Well, that's another thing, too, is, like, the willing tutorial. Like, yeah, that to me, that's good. Because, like, you can just, of course, you just skip past whatever the fuck Lakitu says. And, like, you know, all the bosses. You can skip that shit. You know, you can skip through all that stuff and not pay attention at all. And then there's toads around that will give you extra details on like certain things that, you know, maybe a new player would want to hear or know. But, you know, most of us veterans don't give a shit because we've been playing the game for years. But I think Mario 64 did a pretty good job at how they taught their players how to play the game. Because, you know, they give people the chance to either just go through the tutorial or just not. And I wish more games would do that. I mean, yes, a lot of games are very straightforward with what they want you to do or not to do. A lot of games like that usually say, we got a tutorial, do you want to hear it or not, you know? And it's like, I already played the game a million times, I'm good. And it's like, okay. So those I'm fine with, but then again, even that gets kind of annoying, because like it comes up and it always has the cursor on yes, you know, just in case somebody accidentally hits, you know, no. They always try to leave it on yes, that way they don't fuck up, you know, what happens. So yeah, it's a necessary evil is what it is. It's a lesser of two evils almost as well. It's just it's one of those things, because when I play a game for the millionth fucking time, I want to jump through that game and play it and just soar through it. Because at that point, I'm already more interested in what I plan on doing that playthrough rather than listening to people fucking talk or just, you know, anything else. I know, you know, it's more of a complaint toward like anime games because like they talk a lot, you know. A lot of anime games are more like visual novel style, you know, and stuff like that. I get it and I respect it for what it is, but my thing is like sometimes I just want to just jump. I'm just saying like personally, I just want to jump into a game and just fucking go. And I think Resident Evil 4 nailed it on the head on that one. I think it's one of the few games, not few games. I'm sure there's a plethora of these that do it, but it's one of those, you know, games that I like playing that I don't have to sit through a fucking tutorial just to play the game. The tutorial is the game. You know what I mean? You're learning as you go through, and it's nice to me. It really is. I think Dead Space might kind of be one of those too, but I don't remember. I think they explain things to you to a point, but I don't think it's like Resident Evil 4 where they don't tell you shit. 'Cause that's another thing too, because when it comes to Resident Evil 4, like, you use common sense to shoot a guy in the head. Thinking, okay, you know, if I shoot him in the head, it'll probably hurt a fucking lot more than it does anything else. So you shoot him in the head, and you notice that they react to it. So, you know, they react to it, and you're probably standing away or something, and you probably missed the prompt. Eventually, at some point in time, you try knifing an enemy, and, you know, or shooting an enemy in the head again, and you're closer than what, you know, an enemy gets close to you. You shoot him in the head. All of a sudden, a prompt comes up and says kick. And you're like, kick? Ooh, okay. You kick him, knock him on the ground, you shoot him a few times. You're thinking to yourself, why waste bullets? I could just knife him. You knife him, figure it out, it does quite a fuck ton of damage. And there you go. Now, here we go. Doozies. Alright. So these guys are not bad. They're just, they can be irritating, but I don't know how to put it. They're basically just fucking like, they're just like salesmen, you know. They're just here to bug the living shit out of you. That's all they are. They're just annoying as little shit. So, what I recommend doing is getting out a shotgun and just blowing off a leg. One leg, you don't need to do two. You can go two for the extra mile if you're really feeling like it, but that's up to you. I recommend going for one leg, that way you don't have to waste so many fucking shots. So, these fucking Build-A-Bear, you know, zombies over here, they're a pain in the ass, because they, you know, they can regenerate. But once we get the thermal vision, which I think should be in this room somewhere, we just turn this down, run over there, and eventually we'll get the thermal scope, and we'll put that on our sniper, and bada bing, bada boom, there you go. Now, you can actually kill, I forget what these called, I'll just call them a generator. You can kill these guys by either using the thermal scope to shoot the weak spots, and I'll show you in just a second where you do that. You don't have to have the scope like right above your weapon in the thing, I don't think. I'm not sure. I don't think you would have to. Yeah? Yeah, because it's already combined. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it should be fine. Well, maybe you have to have it next to it. Either way, so you equip it if you want it, and it's just... You see those little red dots right here? Just shoot toward them. It's always on the front of their body. Actually, no, I think there's one behind him, isn't there? Yeah, that's right, because the objective... There's always like... Okay, there's like 4 or so in front, and there's 1 in the back. And it's like right near the heart. That's why I keep shooting in that specific spot. So if you shoot at the same spot that I'm shooting at, you'll most likely hit where you're hitting. Now, the reason why I say like you don't really technically need the thermal to do it, you can... I've done it with the shotgun, but you can like blast like half their torso off, and I think you can pretty much hit most of their spots. See right here, I shoot like right underneath like the right tit, or toward the right tit. Actually, no, it's his left tit. So basically toward the heart, but real close to the side. Right there, you know, if you hit him, if you hit that barrel and you get him stunned down, he'll actually expose his back, and you can shoot that, and then pop. There he goes. Bam. Done. Blown up. That is actually... that's really fucking cathartic. Because these guys are dicks. And when you watch them blow up, it's like... Oh, it's so satisfying. Because it's just... You fucking take out one of the worst fucking douchebags in the game. It's like... Oh, thank God. You know. They're not hard. It's just... They're annoying because... you have to be so specific with your shots. You can't just blow off their head and call it a day. No, you can't do that. I mean, again, they're not really that bad because they can't really go through checkpoint doors. I mean, the best thing you can do is just kill them and get money out of them. I mean, that's pretty much it. I mean, if you want. So this section right here is kind of both funny and quite annoying, actually. I know, I always, for some reason, have a hard time doing this. I don't know why. I recommend going for the guys with the crossbows first. And I think you only go for like, what, 3 shots with this? Something like that? Some stupid shit like that. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, they're going to come to that door pretty soon. So I'm going to go ahead and just wait for them to come over here. I recommend going for the crossbow guys just to get rid of them. Because God knows they're annoying as all hell. And then shit like that happens. I also love... Oh, you can suplex them. I also love that, though. Whenever you kick open a door, you actually can, like... It hits the guy's knees and they go right on the ground. It's so cool. It's like I said, guys. I love how Resident Evil 4 handles it handles itself. It's honestly like one of my favorite Resident Evils. I mean, I haven't really played every Resident Evil either. I'm just saying, like it's definitely one of my top favorites for sure. It's a fucking fantastic game, no doubt, and I recommend people playing it. I know I barely do commentaries, but that's more of laziness rather than anything else. That's not the game. It's just me being fucking lazy. And being a piece of shit. So, you know, if it was a bad game, I would have just quit a fucking long time ago. I wouldn't even started this shit. Just being honest with you, I would have just been like, fuck it, I'm done. Or, you know, during the video, I've been like, this is fucking shit. I've had moments where I said I was bored. But, you know, that was mostly because I've already done this since, like, I've already seen it enough. I don't care anymore, you know. But this chapter, for some reason, I find this one kind of interesting. This one, at least, I feel like spices things up. Look at that. 2 shots. Oop, my bad. 2 shots right in the head, and he's fucking down. He's fucking gone. So either I had a high critical shot right there, or I just took, like, just 2 good shots. So now, before we rescue Ashley, the dumbass, we need to go down here and deal with this stuff. So, these guys suck balls, but these aren't even the worst offenders of sucking balls. No, that's going to take place, and that trophy's for somebody else. And we'll get to see them fucking later. So, if you got the shotgun ammo for it, just blast them away. Open the door, blast them away, and, you know, send them right back to hell. That's what I do here, is just blast the shit out of them. Once you get in... Like once they start, their numbers start, you know, decreasing quite by quite a few numbers. Then start running in and just blasting them, you know. Just keep moving your way down, just inching your way through. Slowly but surely you'll get there. The reason why I say inch your way through is because you can get surrounded pretty fucking easily in here. So just be very careful. Be very mindful of your situations and try to narrow their path. That's what I'm trying to say to do. The stairs are a great way to narrow it. Standing near the door is pretty good, but it's the way the vision is in this game. It's kind of hard to see from the right side, so that's something else to be careful of, or left. It's kind of hard to see like your full entire surroundings too, so that's something to take into consideration. Sorry folks, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning right now. I need to get to fucking bed, but I'm tired. Oh, you know how it is. You know how us youngins are. We like to stay up so fucking late past our bedtime. But I was too busy playing Tokyo Sandu. You know, David bought it for me for Christmas. So, thank you for that. I didn't get to playing it until, like, just, like, last night. And I started playing, I was like... At first, I was like, oh, man, it's gonna be another fucking, like, 80-hour RPG, isn't it? And I started playing it, and, you know, I was like, God, this has, like, some fucking Persona shit in here. You know, basically kind of like how, no, when I say Persona, I mean Neo Persona, as in like P3, where you have like 3 different attributes you can kind of like upgrade, social attributes, you know. Like in this game, instead of having knowledge, you get wisdom, and then I think virtue would probably be considered charm, and then, what was it? I don't remember what the fucking third one was. Oh, it's killing me. Oh, hey. Like, I think it's like this game's version of courage, but I just don't know what it is. Because I know it's wisdom and virtue, but the other one, I don't know. Virtue might be courage. I don't fucking know. I'm too fucking tired to think. I'm too fucking tired to care. So anyway, I got to like, you can also like hang out with people and shit and upgrade, but you only have like, it's a weird system of how they do it, because you're kind of forced to have a set number of hangout abilities. It's really weird. Anyway, so I got to like the first dungeon, and I was like, oh, it's quick, and then all of a sudden we got popped out of it, and then we got popped right back into it. I'm like, God, that was quick. And got the weapon, and the game just said, here's how you attack. You can dodge. Have fun. I said, dodge? Attack? This is not RPG. It's like a straight up hack and slash, and it kind of is. It's almost like a Persona style, basically P3 style of a hack and slash. It's just, it's interesting to me. Yeah, the story is kind of just, it's okay so far. And there's some girl there that's not wearing any shoes that shows up later. And, you know, we all know me, right? I'm that kind of freak. But other than that, it's like, it's good so far when I played. I'm just surprised I like it. I mean, to me, it was one of those games I think I kept seeing on PlayStation Network store. What do I keep on PlayStation Network? On the PS Store. I kept saying on PS Store, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I remember like watching like a clip of it one day, and I was like, oh, okay. That's kind of cool. I don't know if it was either Tokyo Sandu or something else. Regardless of what it was, I remember watching a game that was a dungeon crawling game, kind of like this, where you do battle that's not RPG stuff. And I think I just fucking completely forgot about it, or just didn't care at the time, or just was like, yeah, I'll probably buy it later. Or no, I know there was another game I actually had in my cart for a while. I think it was one of the Code games. I don't know, so that might have been that one. Either way, the game that I'm playing right now, I thought was going to be an RPG, but surprised me. So either I had seen it before and was interested in it, or maybe I had just seen it that one day and I was like, I'll try something new, I guess, and see if it's good. My My number is probably on the fact that I've probably seen it. Or seen the name. Because there's so many of these fucking things I see, you know. They all blend the fuck in. I've probably seen that at GameStop and probably just picked it up like once or twice and just put it back down. You know, that happens too. Without even like giving it a second thought, I'm like, it's another anime game. I already have like a million of those. Fucking Christ. You know. That's the problem with me is like I pick one up, I'm like, okay. I'll come back later and check it out later. And I never do. Alright, so there they are. Alright, these are the douche hats I've been talking about earlier. These ones are a pain in my butthole because since we're downstairs, we have less room to fight. So as you see, I'm honkering near this corner right here. That guy can't take a shot to the head because he's got armor on. I am going to pick him off with snipers first. I'm going to pick off the crossbowmen first as well because, God, they're annoying as shit. Granted, yes, the guys with hatchets can throw the hatchet at you and that could technically be considered a ranged shot, but, like, come on. We all know exactly who I'm fucking aiming for here. It's those douchebags. The reason why I find this part more difficult than the last one is because it's not like they can surround you. I mean, you can just go through the door and just kill them all that way. It'd be safer, yes. It's the crossbows and it's the fucking dudes just running toward you. It's just, to me, there's too much happening at one time for me to actually be able to keep up with. And luckily I did, so I did beat them down, you know, safely but surely, and I used that corner to my advantage. But man, they can really be a pain in the ass. So now we're gonna go ahead and get Ashley real quick, and then that pretty much ends off the chapter. So from here on, I'll let you guys go, and I'll see you guys in the next chapter, which will be chapter 5-2. So as always, remember to take care, everybody.